Hello students, this is Bharat Manji here. In class 12 physics, we are going to learn electrostatics of conductors. Okay? So, first of all, we should categorize what are the free charges and what are the bound charges. When we are talking about metal, the electrons in the outermost orbit, they are free to move within the metal itself. So these electrons in the outermost orbit are called as free electrons, whereas the electrons and protons in proton inside the nucleus and electrons in the inner orbit are bound charges. Okay, so free electrons, they are called as free charges, they can move either way, and the electrons in the inner orbit plus neutrons in the nucleus, they are the bound charges, they cannot move from their places. Secondly, we can, if you talk about the in electrolytic solution, in that the cations and anions both are, we can consider as the free charges. Okay, so this way we can have the free charges and bound charges. So in electrostatic conductors, we are talking about conductors which is having the free charges. Okay, here we are going to learn 6 different properties. So first property is, inside a conductor electrostatic field is 0. Okay, inside a conductor electrostatic field is 0. So we can consider electric field is here from positive to between two plates, positive to negative. It is in this direction, electric field, and in that electric field, if we place a conductor in it, okay, so because of the conductor, so all the negative charges inside this conductor, they will gather to this side, negative charges, and if negative charges means electrons are moving this side, here it will remain a positive charge. Okay, so when external field is applied over here, because of that external field, inside a conductor a special field is induced, so that induced field is from here, positive to negative, so E induced in the opposite direction. Getting this? Electric field is from left to right, whereas induced field is from right to left. And next thing is, the external field and the induced field both are equal. Okay, external field and induced field both are equal in magnitude, but as we see here, both our direction is in opposite. So because of that, the net electric field inside a conductor is 0. Getting this? Because both are having the same magnitude and in opposite direction, that's why total electrostatic field inside a conductor is always 0. Second property we can say, at the surface of a charged conductor, electrostatic field must be normal to the surface at every point. Okay, so whenever we can have a charged conductor like this, the electric field must be normal outside. From here it should be outside, from every point it should be outside. Okay, if it is not so, if it is not normal outside, suppose it is making some angle with the surface. Okay, so whenever this case is happening, you need to take the component of that particular field. Okay, so when the electrostatic field has a component along the surface, there should exist a surface current, means charges should move along the surface, but there is no such motion exists. Surface current never exists in the electrostatic field. That's why the electrostatic field must be normal to the surface of a conductor at every point. Third property we can state as, the interior of a conductor can have no excess charge in the static situation. Okay, now here we need to use Gauss theorem. So according to Gauss theorem, we can say that flux, that is integration of E dot ds, is equal to Q net upon epsilon naught. This we learned earlier. Okay, so according to the first property, the electrostatic field inside a conductor is always 0. So if E is equal to 0, getting this? If E is equal to 0, E dot ds 0 means flux will be 0. So we can write inside a conductor 0 is equal to Q net upon epsilon naught. Okay, so easily we can say that therefore Q net is equal to 0. means inside the conductor there is no electric field, and because there is no electric field, by Gauss theorem we can easily say that there is no charge present inside a conductor, inside interior of a conductor. Now when we are talking about conductor is charge, so if that charge is not existing in the interior of a conductor, obviously it should be lies on the surface of a conductor. Okay, so whenever the excess charge is there, that charge is lying on the surface of a conductor, and interior of a conductor net charge is 0 because electric field is 0. Next, property number 4. The electrostatic potential is constant throughout the volume of the container and has the same value on its surface, means inside the conductor and on the surface of a conductor potential is constant. Okay, so this property we can explain. Again, the relation between electric field and electric potential we already discussed, that is E is equal to minus dV by dr. Okay, this we learned in our earlier. And according to the first property, again inside the conductor electrostatic field is 0, so we can write here 0 is equal to minus dV by dr. Okay, so forget about negative sign, we just talking about magnitude over here, so we can neglect negative sign. Okay, so here we get dV by dr is equal to 0, means differentiation of potential with respect to distance is 0. If any particular differentiation of any physical quantity is 0, so that we can say that therefore V should be equal to constant, because constant का differentiation is always 0. So if dV by dr is 0, V should be equal to constant. Okay, so inside a conductor potential is constant, means it look like a equipotential surface. Okay, now there is no charges exist over there. Again we found the electrostatic potential for the spherical shell, and in the spherical shell we observe that the graph is like this, with the distance from the center to the surface it is constant, and from outside it is varying inversely proportional to r. Okay, so as it is constant, so whatever the potential in the inside the conductor, same potential will be there on the surface of a conductor. So we can easily say that electrostatic potential is constant throughout the volume of a conductor, because inside and on the surface both way electrostatic potential is always remains constant. Okay, now property number 5 is electric field at the surface of a charged conductor E is equal to sigma upon epsilon naught n cap, where sigma is surface charge density, n cap is the unit vector normal outside. Okay, so consider any conductor like this. Now it is having the charge density, that is sigma. Okay, so sigma is equal to charge per unit area. For simplicity we can assume a surface ds, surface area ds over here. So surface area is, we can draw it like this, and by the second property electrostatic field is always normal outward, so electric field will be normal outward like this. Now to find electrostatic field because of any conductor, we need to consider, if you want to apply the Gauss theorem, we should consider a Gaussian surface. So here Gaussian surface we can consider as a cylinder which is partly inside partly outside. Okay, so as we know that inside the conductor electrostatic field is 0, so here no charge is there, and if we take the component E dot ds, we have to take flux. So when we are talking about this area, so the angle is become 90 degree, so this factors can be neglected. Okay, so side factor of the cylinders have no component of the electric field, only this factor, that is which is normal to the surface, that will be only included for the electric flux. Okay, so we want to find flux, so phi is equal to E into ds, so we can easily say that it is E into ds. Okay, next if you want to apply the Gauss theorem says that phi is equal to q net upon epsilon naught. Okay, now if you use this formula, that is surface charge density is equal to charge upon area, so we can get Q net is equal to charge density, that is sigma, into area of this particular Gaussian surface is ds. So Q net is equal to sigma into ds. Okay, so we can substitute this in this term. So we can say that E, let's say this is equation number 1, this is the equation number 2 and equation number 3. So substitute equation number 1 and 3 into, so we get E ds is equal to sigma ds upon epsilon naught. Okay, so ds can easily get cancelled out, and we can say that E is equal to the sigma upon epsilon naught. Okay, now electric field is always normal to the surface at every point. If you want electric field at this point, it is normal outward, here it is normal outward. So that normal outward is given by the vector, and that vector we can say here n cap. N cap is a unit vector, normal outside. So easily we can prove this property, E is equal to sigma upon epsilon naught. In exam, they may ask, show that electrostatic field of a conductor is directly proportional to sigma. For that also you have to follow this procedure. As epsilon naught is constant, we can easily say that E is proportional to sigma. Next property is 6, electrostatic shielding. Okay. Other way we can say that inside the cavity of a conductor, the electrostatic field is 0. Okay. So here we can have a charged conductor like this. It can have the any charge. Say at some point it is having the positive charge, at some point it is having the negative charge. So whatever the external surrounding charges it may have, and we know that inside a conductor electric field is 0, and if E is 0, the net charge inside this is 0. Okay, so or electrostatic field inside this also 0. Okay, so the external field cannot affect the cavity over here. Okay, so because of this, whatever may be the electric field strong enough or weak enough we are having in the surrounding, it has no effect to the charges or whatever we can have inside the cavity. Okay, so inside cavity charge is always 0 and electric field is always 0. So this is very useful property of the electrostatic conductor. So sometimes we may you may heard about while during the lightning it is better to sit inside a car rather than below the tree. Okay, so whenever we are sitting in the car, so car is made up of the metal, so that metal can be act as a conductor. Okay, so when we are sitting inside a conductor, whatever may be the electric field outside, we are always become safe from that electrostatic field, because inside the cavity electrostatic field is 0, charge is 0, so that whatever the lightning happening, that is easily grounded from the outside. Okay, so this is your first use. Second, if you see the fans, okay, so fan having the metal cover at the center, so that is there also we are using the electrostatic shielding. So many your electrical appliances having the metal covering or metal body outside, and there always they are using the effect of electrostatic shielding. See the NCERT example 2.7. In that 4 questions are given. First question is, a comb run through one's dry hair attracts small bits of paper. Why? Okay, so here we can say that when comb is run through the hair, dry hair, so because of the friction, it is getting some charge. I think it is negative charge. So when we are bringing that charge comb near the piece of papers, because of the electrostatic induction, the papers getting the opposite charge. As both are having the opposite charge, the piece of papers are easily getting attracted towards the comb. Okay. Second is, ordinary rubber is an insulator, but a special rubber tires of aircraft are made slightly conducting. Why is this necessary? Okay, so ordinary rubber is insulator, but aeroplane has the special. They are having the little bit conducting type. Okay, so when aircraft is landing on the track, so because of that, when the tire with a very high speed they are grounding, so that time the spark gets the because of the friction, large amount of charge can be developed at their places. Okay, and that charge can because of that charge there lots of damage can take place. So when we are having the conducting rubber, so that whatever the extra charge is having, they are easily getting discharged or grounding or earthing can happen over there. So to provide the earthing, this rubber, the tire are little bit conducting are there. Okay. Third is vehicles carrying inflammable materials usually have metallic ropes touching the ground during the motion. So same as in aircraft, there are the special rubbers using. So same way here. So whenever they are having the vehicles, so in that the different parts of the vehicle, their friction can happen, and because of that friction, there may be the large charge can develop, and this charge can create a spark, and that spark can blast the whatever the inflammable sub material they are having. So to avoid that charging and to ground that or to flow that charge to the earth, the rope is always touching to the roads of the roads. Okay, touches on a bare high power line and nothing happens to the bird. A man standing on the ground touches the same line and gets a fatal shock. Why? Okay, so when we are talking about birds, so birds are landing on the both the legs of the bird are lying on the same wire. Okay, so because of the same wire, so wire has the same potential, so there is no potential difference between the both the legs of the bird, and because of the no potential difference, there is no motion of charge, so no current can pass through the body of the bird. Okay, so that's why they are safe. But when a man touching the ground, when we are on the ground and we are touching the wire, so there is a large potential difference is developed, because earth we consider as a zero potential and wire has a high potential, and because of this large current can flow through our body and we get suffered from that. Okay, so this way there may be large amount of questions can arise from this topic. This is very easy and it will help you to get the concept of the capacitors. Okay, so you need to learn this all 6 properties very carefully so that we can get the concept of capacitor very light or easy. Okay.